million, and his family managed to raise the minimum 10%, which enabled Michael to be bonded out. He continued to live.
Are you fucking serious? A $2 million bond and his family bails him the fuck out after he beats his wife to death. Are you fucking serious? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Live in the home where he'd beaten his wife to death and was free to move around in the community.
Oh my
Over a
fucking
year
gosh,
after
are you
the murder,
serious?
Joliet School District still hadn't terminated Michael's employment. Even though he wasn't allowed on the premises of his workplace, he remained on paid administration.
Yo, what's good, gang? Another reaction video for y'all. This one is called When Teachers Go Wrong. When Teachers Go Wrong. Now, how can teachers go wrong? Well, you know, they can steal, they can kill, they can date, they can rape, you know, all that crazy shit that teachers do that we see in the news. So we're gonna get straight into this shit and see what these teachers be doing that got them going crazy and got them going wrong. So let's get straight to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Now let's pursue it.
In August of 2018, the Lyons School District 103 in
Andres
Illinois
Rodriguez
hired a teacher unaware that he had a pending criminal case for attempted murder. 40-year-old Andres Rodriguez beat out 5 other candidates for a 6th grade English language arts
so he a
teaching
6th
job.
grade
In
English
July
teacher?
of 2017, he'd shot a man 7 times, including several times as he was standing over him, following a road rage incident in Tinsley Park. Earlier in the summer, he'd been let go from the nearby Cicero School District 99 after his past transgressions emerged. He was still employed in spite of the fact that school districts are required to perform a criminal background.
All right, so hold on. Homie shot somebody 7 times in the road rage incident, got released from his previous school. Now this says teacher charged with shooting Tinsley Park man 7 times after traffic incident. Bail was set to $500,000 for school teacher accused of pumping 7 bullets into a 25-year-old Tinsley Park man after a traffic altercation. Yeah, that fool pumped 7 bullets into somebody over some traffic shit. He would not be teaching my kids. I don't even know how he got through the radar. Like, God
Check.
damn.
According to school board officials, the system didn't flag Rodriguez because his case was pending. Nevertheless, a simple Google search or a call to his past employers would have revealed him to be a problematic hire.
Problematic
He was
as
suspended
fuck.
when news of his active case emerged. During a meeting held in the incident's aftermath, parents were in uproar. One man was
Hell
quoted
yeah,
as
I will be
saying,
too.
"We got a teacher that shot somebody 7 times. Coming here to teach.
That part.
Shame on everybody."
That part.
Consequently, parents and other board members called for the resignation of 2 school superintendents, whom they felt had failed to do the bare minimum in researching Rodriguez's past. Number 6, Reese Hancock. On New Year's Day 2020, Reese Hancock woke his mother up at her home in Etwall, Derbyshire, England, and told her, "I feel like I want to kill them." Hancock, a former head teacher at Stanton Vale School in Long Eaton, was referring to his estranged partner, Helen, aged 39, whom he'd recently found out had started seeing a man named Martin Griffiths. Earlier in the evening, Hancock had returned home with 2 women after drinking at a local pub, and they shared a few more drinks. After the women had left, he went upstairs where his mother Denise was sleeping. After waking her up, he started talking about killing his wife and her new lover, detailing how he could sneak into his old marital home because he still had the key. He said that he'd be sentenced to 20 or 30 years in.
Hold on. So he pre-planned killing his wife, ex-wife, whatever she is. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Cause at this point, homie tripping. Homie is tripping. And he told this to his mom. So this somewhat seems well thought out, well planned. somewhat strategic at this point. Yeah, he crazy though.
in prison. And
Sneaking
that
back
he'd be
into the
out in
old
his
crib.
60s. Denise would later report that she'd never seen him so calm. After sharing a final cup of tea with her, the 40-year-old told his mother that he loved her and then left, armed with 2 large knives.
Hold on. So he told his mom he felt like killing. Said he was going to kill his wife. Said he only get about 25 to 30 years. So he knew how much time he would get. He knew he had it planned out. And then it says head teacher jailed for 31 years for stabbing estranged wife and lover to the. Oh shit. God damn. Hold on. You killed her and her new nigga? Oh, whoa.
He headed towards his former home in Duffield. Shortly after 4 a.m., Denise called the authorities and told them that Helen was in danger. She and Hancock had 3 children, but they weren't at the residence at the time. About 15 minutes later, Hancock also called the police and said, "I have just murdered my wife in her bed. I have stabbed them and slit their throats. There is blood everywhere." Arriving officers found Hancock on the pavement near the home, drenched in blood. He told them that he knew denying the crime would be futile. Inside, the police found a horrific scene. A senior clinician described it as a bloodbath and claimed it was the most violent incident he'd seen in his 17 years on the job.
Wild.
Hancock had entered
Mind
the
you,
home
he
through
in
a back
England,
door
though.
and went upstairs, where he butchered Helen and 48-year-old Griffiths as they lay in bed, defenseless. Both were found dead on the floor, with Helen's head resting in the man's lap. Helen, who taught PE at Fountains High School in Burton, had suffered 66 knife wounds, which had been delivered with great force. Griffiths, a father of 2, had 36
Hold on. 66 knife wounds. He stabbed her 66 times.
fresh wounds, with several deadly slashes that had severed his jugular vein. Prosecutors would describe the killings as premeditated, savage, and
He
merciless,
knew what he was
executed
doing.
in cold blood with an element of sadism. Hancock pleaded guilty to the double homicide and was sentenced to a minimum of 31 years in prison.
Hold on. He got, bro. He didn't want her being that right there is the case of if nobody can't have you, if I can't have you, nobody will. That's exactly what he said. If I can't have you, nobody can. Nobody, baby. And he said he'd kill for that pup. He'd kill for the kitty. He straight up committed straight up murder.
Chelsea Cook.
And when they sit outside afterwards, you know they don't care.
On November the 25th of 2018, a Utah
What
health
you do,
teacher
Chelsea
shot
Cook?
and killed her ex-husband's girlfriend. Chelsea Cook reportedly entered the Mid-Vale home of her ex,
shit.
Travis, while he was still in the parking lot, where they'd agreed to meet.
Something is wrong with these teachers. Not all of them, but some of them. Something is wrong with some of these teachers. Like, I don't get it, bro. Y'all the ones that need to go see a counselor and a psychiatrist because y'all out here bugging, bro. Out here slaughterhousing people for no fucking reason.
So that she could drop off something for one of their 3-year-old twins. According to the police report,
Former Utah
32-year-old
teacher
Chelsea was
sentenced
asked to leave
31 years to
multiple
life for
times,
killing
which she
ex-husband's
refused before locking
girlfriend.
herself in the couple's
Hold
bathroom.
on. So that's the girlfriend, I'm assuming. Or is that her? No, that's her. That's her. I think. I can't tell. They low-key look alike.
Before
If
locking
that's her
herself in the couple's bathroom.
not.
Travis's girlfriend, 26-year-old Lisa Williams, was inside the home at the time. There had been friction between Chelsea and Williams that involved the teacher harassing the latter at her job and writing her a threatening letter.
Teacher lures
in spite of the
ex-husband
clear
away from
animosity,
house before
Williams
killing new
hoped
girlfriend
that
in
they
front
could
of
resolve their differences.
Whoa! She killed him in front of her kids.
Chelsea, however,
Oh,
had become anxious
shit.
and depressed, feeling like she was being cut off from her children, whom she reportedly loved bringing to the classroom. On the night of the murder, as Chelsea refused to leave the bathroom, Travis called 911. She then opened the door, reached into her coat pocket, and pulled out a handgun. In the presence of her children, Chelsea fired multiple shots at Williams, 3 of which made contact, causing fatal injuries.
Wow.
Travis pinned his ex-wife to a wall until the police arrived at the scene and arrested her. Chelsea's legal defense would argue that she'd brought the weapon to the home with the intention of taking her own life and was under severe psychiatric distress when she shot Williams.
Wow. So it says, my beautiful Lisa was murdered while decorating a Christmas tree with the homemade ornaments she was making with the kids, 3-year-old twins. She was so kind, sweet, generous, loving. So that looks like that is from her mother or someone from her family, the victim's family. So this woman was shot while decorating the tree with the kids. Now, I want to know if the 2 twins were the ex-wife's 2 kids and the dad had the kids, or were they her 2 kids?
As part of a plea deal that spared her the death penalty, Chelsea pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and was sentenced to 34 years in prison. Number 4.
34
Tiffany
years.
Langford.
She deserves all them.
In November of 2019, a substitute teacher was caught on cell phone footage repeatedly hitting a teenage student,
mollywopped their ass,
and then stomping on her head.
Schoolgirl 16 attacked by substitute teacher, too scared to return to class. So the substitute whooped they motherfucker ass with the beat down and the brakes on. That's what it looked like. That's probably one of them videos that went viral. Yeah, substitute though. Yeah, I wouldn't go to class too if that's my teacher.
At Lehman High School in Kyle, Texas, during a Spanish class, and videos of it have since gone viral. Some sources reported that prior to the physical confrontation, the
sister girl couldn't hold her temper. She didn't have her morning blunt. Because what the fuck? Why you fighting kids?
Teenager had uttered a racial slur directed at 32-year-old teacher Tiffany Langford. One video showed that the teenager had swung first after Langford had leaned over her desk. In retaliation, the teacher threw a barrage of hard punches to the teenager's head, pulled her out of her desk, and stepped on her head. The teenager, reported as a member of the basketball team, was taken to a local hospital and, as stated by an attorney for her family, sustained a brain injury. She'd reportedly suffered from seizures prior to the brutal beating, which may have left her with lasting injuries.
The substitute teacher to beat a fucking basketball player, gave them brain trauma or brain injuries. They've already had problems with their brain in the past. You is going to jail.
Langford was fired on the day
well,
of the
duh.
incident and charged with felony aggravated assault. Her bond was initially set at $10,000, but after being deemed a low flight risk, she was released on personal recognizance, which meant that she'd promised to return to court. Number 3, Delane Graham.
Student and got off on 10 bands.
In 2021, a teacher was gunned down by her estranged husband, who was also a teacher, on a campground in Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan, Canada. Delane Graham from Thunderchild First Nation and his wife Charlene from Flying Dust First Nation had started dating right out of high school. They graduated.
Oh shit. Teacher killed and thanks murder, suicide, left, abusive man, family. If she wants to leave, let her leave. If he wants to leave, let him leave. I say that being that people will take somebody's life because they don't want to be with somebody no more, or that person doesn't want to be with them no more. And you feel like the only way to fix the situation is to kill them and sometimes kill yourself. Not you personally, but you know what I'm saying. And based on what they said, these are 2 people that were in love for years. You feel me? That high school love shit.
With teaching degrees, got married.
Sometimes that shit ain't
2
healthy.
children together. Their tumultuous relationship had lasted for 16 years, a time during which Charlene had tried to leave her abusive husband on multiple occasions.
16 years, yeah,
was
she probably
always
felt
pulled
trapped.
back to him. As a teacher, Delane was widely appreciated for his work in land-based education and Cree culture, but in his private life, Charlene's family described him as manipulative and controlling. The couple, both 34, had a tragic final encounter about a month after they'd separated, with Delane moving to a Meadow Lake campground and Charlene staying in her home community at Flying Dust First Nation. When Charlene started dating someone new, her family feared that Delane, who was allegedly abusing cocaine
If they
and
was
crystal
together 16
methamphetamine,
years and he
would be
doing
coming
drugs,
after her.
and he doing
Charlene
drugs,
told her
yeah,
sister,
bro.
Della Duquette, to come find her if she didn't answer her cell phone because it meant she was in danger. The following day, Charlene started a new job at the on-reserve elementary school but disappeared around lunchtime. Her family asked the authorities to perform a
Hold on. So she started a new job at an elementary school and disappeared around lunchtime. Now we know that lunchtime is the only time that teachers get free time, 30 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, depending if they ain't got a class the next block. So
on his check.
that's weird.
But Duquette decided not to wait and went to the campground herself. She arrived and tackled Delane as he appeared to be punching Charlene, whom he'd likely taken there by force. Duquette tried holding him to the ground, at which point she was stabbed in the hand and was forced to back away. It was only then that she realized Delane hadn't punched Charlene, but attacked her with a knife. The man then pointed a rifle at the sisters, prompting Charlene as she lay bleeding to tell Duquette, "Go sis, it's okay, I'm going to die." Duquette ran away hoping she wouldn't be shot in the back and escaped with her life. Delane shot Charlene outside his camper trailer, then turned the weapon on himself once he was inside. Both died at the scene. Today's topic was requested by...
Oh, that just gave me chills. That just gave me fucking chills. Her sisters ultimately found her and knew where she was after he took her and kidnapped her from school. Found her getting stabbed to death and literally possibly could have saved her. She tells them to run away, that she's going to die anyway. And he kills himself.
Instagram follower, Sourbird818. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below, or follow us on Instagram and reach out to us there. Number 2, Michael Kozecki. Over the course of 3 days in August of 2018, a teacher from Joliet, Illinois, repeatedly beat his wife, inflicting fatal injuries. Michael Kozecki taught 7th and 8th grade language arts at Washington Junior High School,
English
while
teacher.
his wife, Rebecca, was an 8th grade special educations teacher at...
Okay, so he teaches English and she teaches special ed. A lot of these long relationships, teacher on teacher relationships, that's why they tell you always say, don't work where you play, or don't date where you work. Don't play where you work. All that off limits. You feel me? Yeah, so they were always
Gompers
around each
Junior
other.
High
That
School.
ain't good.
Each of them had over a decade of experience within their respective fields. The couple wasn't known to have a turbulent marriage up to the events of early August. It's been reported that 38-year-old Rebecca had intervened while her husband, also 38,
he
was
beat her to
disciplining
death.
one of their young boys. Enraged, the man punched and kicked her several times on different occasions from Saturday until Tuesday, when he called 911 claiming she was unresponsive after suffering a medical issue. Responding officers found her lying unconscious on the floor next to a couch. She was rushed to a local hospital, where staff concluded her injuries were consistent with a severe beating. Michael was taken into custody on charges of aggravated battery, causing great bodily harm,
bro.
and
I ain't no
aggravated
good
domestic
one.
battery. After Rebecca succumbed to head trauma, the charge of first-degree murder was added. His bail was set at $2 million, and his family managed to raise the minimum 10%, which enabled Michael to be bonded out. He continued to live...
Are you fucking serious? A $2 million bond and his family bails him the fuck out after he beats his wife to death? Are you fucking serious? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Live in the home where he'd beaten his wife to death and was free to move around in the community.
Oh my
Over a
fucking
year
gosh,
after
are you
the murder,
serious?
Joliet School District still hadn't terminated Michael's employment. Even though he wasn't allowed on the premises of his workplace, he remained on paid administrative leave.
No
meaning
fucking
that
way.
taxpayers continued to support his teaching salary.
What the fuck?
In 2020, 3 years after the incident, he was one of over a dozen murder defendants.
Support after tragic loss of mother. Who the fuck is taking the money? The dad? Wow.
Still awaiting
sick
trial
right now,
in
bro.
Will County. Number 1. James Ball. On the morning of July the 4th of 2017, officers from the Cicero Police Department and Onondaga County Sheriff's deputies responded to a 911 call at a residence in Cicero in the state of New York. Upon arrival, they found 40-year-old Christopher Ross with multiple gunshot injuries. The shooter was the victim's brother-in-law, 55-year-old James Ball. He was a 4th grade teacher at Smith Road Elementary School within the Northern Syracuse Central School District, where he'd worked since 2004. Ball and Ross had gotten into a
Hold on. Who beat the bejeebus out of him? God damn. Look at that eye. After 3-year saga, ex-Cicero teacher arraigned again in shooting death of brother-in-law. You look at that eye. That boy got a fucking clapper. Like somebody dotted his ass.
drunken fight that spilled from the basement onto other parts of the former's residence. Ball's wife had briefly succeeded in separating them, but the teacher then received a .22 caliber rifle from an upstairs bedroom and opened fire on Ross. A shirtless, shoeless Ball told officers that he'd shot his brother-in-law in self-defense because he'd beaten him. His mugshot would indeed show the teacher with a black and swollen eye. Ball was indicted on murder charges, but the appeals and legal proceedings into this case are still ongoing to determine if he'd acted within the limits of the law. Ball's arrest had shocked his community and the school board, as his reputation
That one is tough because him and his brother-in-law got into it. Clearly, he was getting his ass whooped, and he went up and got a gun. Instead of leaving the house, calling the police or whatever, he went upstairs. He went somewhere else in the house. I ain't gonna say upstairs. He went somewhere else in the house and got a gun and shot him. And he got charged because the police said your brother-in-law had no shirt on, no shoes on. He was just fighting your ass, and clearly you was getting your ass whooped. So yeah, we're gonna charge you with murder. Yeah, but these are some crazy ass stories from some teachers. Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, click that bell, all that good stuff. Catch y'all on the next one. This your boy Weasel, and we out this thing. Yeet.